We live yet? Yes, we are live. So, hey guys, I'm Nellie Christine. Thank you guys so much for watching. The purpose of today's video is I'm going to be sharing with you how I made over $1,200 as a meal prepper. Let me just get a little situated, get my notes up. Yes. So yeah, I started to actually make over $1,200 being a meal prepper. I live in Miami, and how I got started is usually, typically the buildings in Miami, they have their own website or what we call portals where people can post what services they're looking for. Someone might be looking for a dog walker, someone might be looking for a nanny or a personal chef or a cleaning lady. So someone actually posted that they were looking for a meal prepper because they were trying to lose weight and get healthy, and they didn't want to buy meal prep from the outside. And so I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, it's worth a conversation. So I called them back and started talking to her, and we settled on a certain number. So it was going to be actually like $30 a day. Sorry, $30, $60 per day. And that would include 2 meals, a salad, and a dessert for the entire week. I felt pretty good with that amount. I did think that, like, okay, I think this is worth my time. At the time, and currently I have my own business selling residential doors and windows. So my time was pretty valuable. And in order for me to get away from that, it really had to be worth my time. So as you go about it, if this is something you want to do, you have to kind of consider how much time it's going to take for you to go to the grocery store, bring the groceries back, prepare the food. All of that goes into it. So I thought, okay, you know what, might as well just give it a shot, try it out. So we did, and she agreed. So I would do the grocery shopping. I'd bring the groceries back. First, we started out doing or using our own plastic containers, just like swapping them back and forth. Then I kind of leveled up and bought like the professional meal prep containers. And it was working out really well. And I ended up actually making and saving a lot of money. I think I made over 9,000. So I spent a little bit on myself. I think I bought like a pair of shoes for myself that I had been really wanting. So I did that. That was like kind of my fun money. And then the rest of it, I just put it away in savings. So it was definitely really worth my time. But I did kind of want to share with you some details that I think could help you personally. So some questions that you'll want to ask up front is really to gauge the level of requirement, the time like commitment for yourself. How many grocery stores you're going to have to go to meet their demands, how much time it's going to take, like how many meals do they want. So some questions you'll want to ask are, do you have any allergies? Of course, that's probably like very important. You don't want to make any food that's going to make them sick. And you want to know if there are any types of proteins that they don't eat. You'll want to know if there are any carbs that they don't eat. All of those will factor into the cost. For example, if they only eat beef, and if beef is more than chicken, so you'll have to kind of know that in advance. Or if they only eat, if they want, like, I had a guy that said he only wants, or not only, but he does want lamb and cod. Those are pricier meats, right? So you definitely want to be able to factor that into the cost. Another reason is because if they want specialty meats that your store that you typically go to don't offer it, like I do most of my grocery shopping, at least at the time, Trader Joe's. So if he wants lamb and cod, which they don't have, I'd have to make a separate trip out to somewhere like Whole Foods just to get that for him. And so you need to factor that in. You either have to let him know, hey, I can't do those particular meats, or tell him like it's going to cost extra if you want these meats. So that's actually one of the most crucial questions to ask is like, what they eat, what they don't eat. That way, you know if you can incorporate variety, and maybe you can also see if like the food that you were already planning on cooking for yourself, all you'd have to do is just double, triple the amount to now when you're shopping once, you're cooking once, and now you're cooking not only for yourself, but for other people as well. It just cuts down on the time when you can do it once and like feed all these people from the one effort, if that makes sense. So some other questions you'll want to ask is, are you cooking for one person? Or maybe if you offer a discount, if they bring their spouse, then, you can offer a pretty deep discount. That always helps. So it's cost effective, and obviously you bring in more money the more people you cook for, especially if they have the same diet and they're going to the same household. So definitely try to encourage them to bring on their spouse. You'll want to know if someone doesn't want any carbs at all. If they don't want carbs, chances are you'll have to supplement with more meat, and obviously that's going to cost more. You'll want to know if there's any particular day of the week that they need their food. So find out in advance. Like if one person says, "Oh, I need all my meals delivered on Sunday," and another person is like, "No, I don't have time. I don't know where I'm going to be on Sunday. I need all my meals delivered on, let's say, Tuesday." Well, that's a mismatch right there, because now you're probably going to have to cook on Sunday and you're probably going to have to cook on Tuesday. So that doesn't help you when it comes to trying to save time in cooking all your meals at once. So, as much as possible, try to batch your cooking days and times with people who have the same dietary restrictions, or basically allowances or preferences. Yes, I think preferences is the better word. So, batch your customers that have the same dietary preferences and the same pickup date in one day as much as possible. And if you have to spread them out, then I would only do so if it's really like worth your time and money to do it. What else you want to know? Yeah, I mean, the most important thing is to really just like figure out what it is that they eat, what it is that they like. Can you only go to one store and buy everything in one go, not only for them, but for you as well? And then see if you can, as you're cooking for them, cook for you as well. And that way you're shopping once, cooking once, and you're cooking for all these people. You're saving yourself a lot of time. And by doing so, you make extra money on the side. You are pretty much covering your own cost of food at the very least. Yeah, and I think that meal prep, like it was the few hours of my time per week, but it was definitely worth my time. Like I said, I saved a pretty good chunk of money. It was very worth it. I would totally do it again. In fact, I have considered picking back up with my current building because I did move. And yeah, so I hope all that advice helps. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. And you can also find me on Instagram at Foodie Call. And if you didn't already know, I just wrote a book. It's called Sexy Rich Body. I have linked it in the caption, so please be sure to go and pick yourself up a copy. I'm sure you'll love it. It's all about getting fit and looking good and having a sexy, rich, beautiful, luxurious body. Yeah, so love you guys so much, and thank you for watching.